Hi, my dear students. Very good morning. Welcome back to Sri Ramanuja Vidya Mandir. Students, now I'm explaining about the life process. In the life process, we discussed nutrition, transportation, and the respiration. Okay. First of all, let me recap the previous classes. What do you mean by life process, students? The basic functions performed by every living creature in order to sustain in the nature, nothing but life process. Okay, so and the best examples for the life process is nutrition. We all require the energy, right? So if we'll get energy means we have to consume the food materials. Basing on the food habits, organisms were classified into what? Two types, autotrophs and the heterotrophs. Autotrophs here they can synthesize their own food materials. Example, all green plants will come under autotrophs. Heterotrophs, they can't synthesize the food material, they have to depend upon the other organisms for the purpose of the food. They are heterotrophs. Even students, these heterotrophs were classified into three types: herbivores, carnivores, and the omnivores. Herbivores, the organisms which prefers only plant materials as their food. Herbivores. Example, goat, sheep, cattle. Carnivores, the organisms which prefers to eat animal materials. Example, lion, tiger, all will come. Omnivores, the organisms which prefer to eat both the type of products such as from the plants as well as the animals. These are omnivores. In this way, basing on their type of food which they'll prefer and basing on their food they'll be taking, organisms were classified into different ways. Now, let us talk about the nutrition first. Nutrition is one of the physical life process. Okay, here organisms, the food is going to consume the organism, and in the same way utilization of this food for their metabolic activities is nutrition. The process of taking food and utilization of the food for their activities is nutrition. Understand? Again, these nutritions of different types, students. Okay, autotrophic, and heterotrophic, saprotrophic nutrition is there, parasitic nutrition is there, and insectivorous nutrition is also there. Okay, and so now in this class we are going to discuss about the human nutrition in the human beings. Humans follow holozoic mode of nutrition. Okay, so holozoic mode of nutrition means organism is going to prefer the food, it is going to swallow the food and digest it well, then absorbed, then utilization. So in this way a sequence of steps are there in the process of nutrition. That is about the nutrition, my dears. And you know, human digestive system consists of alimentary canal, mouth. So this alimentary canal again consists of mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine. Okay, rectum and anus. So in this we discussed about the digestive system. Next important life process what we discussed, students? We discussed respiration. Okay, so we all do require some important gases such as oxygen, and the same way we are going to exhale the carbon dioxide. See children, so why you are eating the food materials? Just to get the energy. By eating the food we won't get the energy, students. So the whatever biomolecules we took in the form of food, that has to convert into the energy. The breakdown of these biomolecules such as proteins, carbohydrates, fats liberates the energy. This particular process is going to get is nothing but the respiration. Each and every cell is going to is going to undergo oxidations. Okay, so here whatever the biomolecules reach the cell, they are going to be oxidized to liberate the energy. So this biomolecule will break down to liberate the energy. That procedure is respiration. You know, we people inhale the oxygen through the nasal cavities. Then we have the pharynx, larynx, trachea, lungs, alveoli. So here we have the nasal cavities. Through the nasal cavity we are going to take the oxygen. Then it reaches the pharynx, larynx, then trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, alveoli. This is the respiratory path in the human beings. That also we discussed well. And next important thing is transportation. Here, see children, in the multicellular organisms, transportation plays very crucial role. The reason is that in the multicellular organisms, we have n number of cells in our body. Right? Each and every cell should require the essential components such as biomolecules, gases, ions, minerals, everything. So how these important things will reach the particular cell? By means of transporting system. In the human beings, we have a well developed circulatory system. In the humans, circulatory system mainly coordinated by three important things such as what? Heart, blood and blood vessels. Blood is the carrier which is going to carry all the required essential things from one part of the body to other part of the body. This is nothing but circulation. Heart is another important organ in our body. This heart is going to pump the blood. It works as a pumping device. And the next, blood vessels. We have two types of blood vessels in our body, arteries and the veins. Arteries carries the oxygenated blood from the heart to the different body parts. Whereas veins, second type of blood vessels, they are going to bring the deoxygenated or impure blood from the different bodies to the heart. Again we have fine thread-like vessels called capillaries. Okay, so about all these things we discussed in the last previous classes, and now students I am going to explain about the transporting system in the plants. Okay, let us see. Right, now transportation in the plant, students. Even plant is a multicellular organism. Let us. In the plants, transportation of materials like food, water, minerals takes place through the conductive tissue. By what tissue, students? In the plant, the process of transportation is going to carried out tissue. Point conductive. Right? The conductive tissues in our plants are two types. The first and foremost one is xylem and the second one is phloem. Next, first let us talk about the xylem, students. Xylem transports water, minerals from the roots to all the parts of the plant. See, this xylem consists of tracheids and the vessels. Water and the minerals enter the roots by the diffusion. Then, due to the transpiration, the suction force helps in the upward movement of the water in the minerals. Here, you know, children, now I am going to explain about the xylem, right? Xylem is going to helps in the transportation of water and minerals. Water and minerals. Right, this xylem consists of two important cells Those are tracheids and vessels. These are the two important cells present in the xylem conductive tissue. You know, our plants require the water for their survival. From where our plants is going to get the water? You know, our plants are having a well developed root system. Okay, it is present in the underground. Now, see students, this is the plant. We have the root system in the underground region, and these roots helps in it will give strong support to the plant, and it is also helping in the absorption of the water from the soil. The roots, whatever root hairs are present here, which helps in the absorption of the water. This by means of diffusion. By what process our roots are going to absorb the water, students? By diffusion. Again, from here to, again the water should reach the different parts of the body, and that process by means of transpiration. The suction force helps in the upward movement of the water and the minerals. See, here the water has to travel against the gravitational force. So, for that movement, we require the transpiration pull. Okay, so by means of transpiration, so water going to be moved to the upward direction, and it reaches to the different plant parts. So, this transportation occurs by means of the xylem vessels or xylem tissue present in the plant. Excuse me. Tracheids functions in both support and the water transport, whereas vessels helps in the specialized for water transport. And xylem fibers also there. They'll be helps in the what? Specialized support. Okay. Let's move on to the next slide, students. Next, phloem. This phloem transports food from the leaves to the other parts of the plant. This process is called translocation. The process of transportation of food from the leaves to the different parts of the plant is translocation. Here, our phloem consists of sieve tubes and companion cells. Here, see children, this is the phloem tissue, and here companion cells are present. Okay, and this is the sieve tube. Okay, and the food from the leaves is transferred to the xylem by energy of ATP molecules due to the osmotic pressure. Water enters the phloem and helps in the transportation of the food. Here, this is the xylem and this one is the phloem. Xylem consists of tracheids, vessels and the xylem fibers, whereas phloem consists of companion cells, sieve tubes. Next, excretion, students. So, with this slide, I have completed the transportation in the plants. You know, we have the vascular tissues in our plants known as xylem and the phloem. Xylem helps in the water conduction and the minerals, and whereas phloem helps in the food conduction. Now students, I am going to explain the another important life process, that is excretion. Right. First, excretion is the process by which waste products produced during the metabolic activities removed from the body. You know, children, so our body is like exactly like machine. It's a continuously working machine. Okay. So each and every cell undergoes some metabolic activities which are very very essential for the creature or organism to sustain in the nature. So with this metabolic activities, at last so many waste materials or toxic substances is going to be produced. Now these waste products and this waste or toxic substances need to sent out of the organism. So this particular process is maintained by the excretory system in the animals. Not only in the animals, even in the plants also. Why we need to send out the waste products to out of the body? The reason is that they are not supposed to be stay in our body. So what will happen if they'll stay in our body? Again they'll be converted into the toxic substances. Okay. With this, what happened? Again we may get some abnormalities. Right, to avoid that, excretory system plays very crucial role in the elimination of all the waste materials from the body. Let us take, in the unicellular organism, the waste products are removed from cell into the surroundings by means of diffusion. You know, children, basing on the presence of number of cells, organisms were classified into two types, unicellular and the multicellular. So, unicellular example amoeba, in that case what will happen? Waste materials are going to excrete or sent out by the organism into the surroundings by means of diffusion. In unicellular or organisms, excretion is by students, excretion is by the process known as diffusion. Right? Next, in the multicellular organisms, waste products are removed through the specialized organs. So, we are the multicellular organisms. We have separate systems for every life process. In the same way, in our body, anyhow, let's discuss about the human excretory system now. We have excellent excretory system in our body. Let us discuss about our human excretory system now. Excretion in the human beings. The excretory system consists of pair of kidneys, a pair of ureter, urinary bladder, urethra. Each kidney has number of excretory units called nephrons. See children, our human body consists of a pair of kidneys. So these are the pair of kidneys. And it will be having the connection, a pipe-like connections are called ureter. This is kidney. This is the ureter, students. Ureter. And this one is urinary bladder. And here we have the sphincter. Sphincter and urethra. Okay, these are the important parts present in the human excretory system. Like, see children, this is a human excretory system, and kidneys, a pair of kidneys, ureter, urinary bladder, and urethra is there. See, this is the TS of the kidney. TS of the kidney. Pelvis, medulla, cortex is there. And in our kidney we have the nephrons. The cells which helps in the excretion is called nephron. This is structure of nephron, students. Now let us study about the nephron now. Each nephron has a cup-like structure called Bowman's capsule. See children, this is the structure of nephron, right? And so each nephron is having a cup-like structure known as Bowman's capsule. The Bowman's capsule leads into the tubular structure which joins into the collecting duct. See here it contains a bundle of capillaries called glomeruli. So this cup having a bundle of capillaries known as glomerulus. Bowman's cup, a cup-like structure, it is enclosed by glomerulus. And the Bowman's capsule leads into the tubular structure which joins into the collecting duct. The renal artery brings the nitrogenous waste like ammonia, urea, uric acid along with the excess water, salts, etc. into the nephron. It filters the nitrogenous waste. See children, here we have the glomerulus in the Bowman's capsule. It is having the connection with the tubular structure. Again it will having the connection with the collecting duct. Okay. You just look at the picture students. Now renal artery. Here tubular structure. The renal artery is going to bring the nitrogenous wastes like ammonia, urea, uric acid along with the excess water, salts, etc. into the nephron. It filters the nitrogenous waste, water, salts which passes through the tubular structure into the collecting tube or a duct. The waste then passes through the ureter, then to the urinary bladder, and then is sent out to the urethra as a urine. The useful products like amino acids, glucose, salts, etc. are reabsorbed by the capillaries around the tubular structures and goes into the renal vein. See children, any useful items, if leftover materials are present in the urine, again they will be reabsorbed. What are the useful things? Such as amino acids, glucose, salts, etc. are reabsorbed by the capillaries around the tubular structures and goes into the renal vein. Okay, so this is about the absorption students. Here this is the structure of nephron. Nephron is known as structural and the functional unit of the kidney. Nephron is structural and the functional unit of kidney. Okay. Let us see excretion in the plants. So till now we discussed about excretion in human system, and now we are going to discuss about the excretion in the plants. In the plants, gaseous waste products produced during the respiration. So what are the oxygen and the carbon dioxide? Okay, see this carbon dioxide produced by means of respiration, and whereas oxygen is produced by the photosynthesis. These are removed through the stomata. So all these gaseous things will be sent out by means of stomata. Okay, the excess water is removed through the stomata. This process is called transpiration. So through the stomata, waste gases is going to sent out. In the same way, excess water is going to also going to be sent out by the process known as transpiration. By what process, my dears? Transpiration. Let us. Some waste products are stored in the leaves and removed when the leaves dry and fall off. Some waste products are stored in the vacuoles. Some waste products like gums and the resins are stored in the old xylem. I'll show the picture, students. Some waste products are removed through the roots. Again, not only by means of stomata. You know what do you mean by stomata? See, they are present in the leaves. I'll draw the diagram and I'll explain. See, for example, this is the leaf. Okay. If you see the leaf structure, the lower epidermis of the leaf is having the small minute pores known as stomata. Through this stomata only, our waste gases and the excess water is going to be sent out. Okay. So, through this pores only, plant is going to eliminating the waste gases and the waste water also. How we have kidney? In the same way, our plant is also having the small pores such as stomata. Understood? Okay. And not only by stomata, some waste products are stored in the leaves, removed when the leaves dry and fall off. See, dry leaves is going to fall down, no? So, in the same way, whatever the waste it is deposited in the leaves, that leaves is going to be fall off. Almost excretion is done. Some waste products are stored in the vacuoles. Some waste products like gums and resins are stored in the old xylem cells. Some waste products are removed through the roots. So, these are the different ways our plant is going to sending out their excretory waste materials. So, by this we can easily understand that plants also undergoes the process of respiration, transportation and the excretion, nutrition also. So, with this, every living creature has to perform some basic functions in order to sustain in the nature. That basic process are life processes. Okay, nutrition, respiration, excretion, transportation, etc. Understand? So, this is about the today's class. I hope you all understood the class. With this, I have completed the first topic of your textbook, that is life process. Second time we are doing the revision. Second time also we completed. Okay, children. And now, what you have to do? You have to read thoroughly the study material and the NCERT textbook. Understand? Okay, students. And we are conducting the multiple choice questions examinations. I hope you are showing good interest towards the exams. So, thank you all. Thank you so much. Have a nice day all.